In this post-production quick tip, I will go through the steps of processing a 360 photo. To see how we captured the image, you can check out the quick tip here, or use the link in the description below. The processing of this 360 consists of 3 main steps. Grade the images in Lightroom, stitch them together in PTGui, and use Photoshop to remove the tripod's shadow and the gap at the bottom of the 360. Import the panorama into Lightroom and navigate to the Develop tab. In here, I will select an image which best reflects the average of all the images, as I will be applying the grade from this image onto the others. This image, overlooking the lakes, will work well for this 360. In the Develop tab, I can edit this image as I would with any other photograph. It is important not to use any secondary corrections such as graduated filters and radial filters, as these can cause issues when stitching. Also ensure that Enable Corrections under the Lens Corrections drop-down is unchecked. Do not alter the crop or rotation of the image. Now that I have a look that I am happy with, I can sync all the other images so that they match. I am doing this so that the look of all the images will align when I turn this into a single 360 photo. I can now export these images for PTGui. Under the Export menu, I will set the format to TIFF and select 8-bit. If you intend to change the color of the image later on in Photoshop, set this to 16-bit. I am using the TIFF image format as it does not degrade the quality of the image between exports. Leave the sizing unaltered, and in the metadata drop-down I will set it to All Metadata. PTGui utilizes metadata to aid in the stitching of photographs. In PTGui, I will load in all the images and press Align Images. To preview your 360, press the magnifying glass. I can now export the panorama. Under the Create Panorama tab, I will select Set Optimum Size and set the file format to TIFF. In Settings, I can set this to 8-bit. Check Blended Panorama Only is set in the drop-down. I can now set the export location and press Export. As 360 photographs are arranged in a lat-long format, they become very stretched near the top and the bottom of the image. To solve this, I am going to export out a version of this 360 where the bottom is centered in the frame. This will make it easier to remove the shadow of the tripod in Photoshop. In the Panorama Preview window under Edit, Numerical Transform, I will rotate the image in 90-degree increments until the bottom is centered in frame. Once in position, I'm going to use the same export settings as before. In Photoshop, drag in the rotated image and using the Heal and Clone tool, remove the tripod's shadow. For repairing the gap, I will sample with the Stamp tool around the outside and fill in the inside. Now that the image is as I want, I can save it out as a TIFF. Make sure Discard Layers and Save Copy is checked. Once I have the image saved out, I'm going to rotate it back to match the first image in PTGui. Load up the image, and using Numerical Transform, rotate it back again to its original position and export it. Due to multiple rotations, the edited image will have some quality loss in areas where it has been pinched due to the transformations. I'm going to merge the bottom half of this image with the top half of the first image, thus maintaining quality. I will add a layer mask to this layer. Using the Gradient Ramp tool, with the layer mask selected, I will create a gradient just above the missing section at the bottom of the frame so that the top section is masked out. When using the Gradient Ramp tool, make sure you hold Shift so that it draws perfectly flat. Different online 360 platforms can require specific resolutions. As this image will be uploaded to Facebook, I need to set it to 6000 by 3000 pixels. To do this, I will use the image size dialog. In here, I will set the width to 6000. The height should automatically adjust. This process is now complete and the picture can be saved and uploaded to the web. Using this workflow for post-processing 360 photos is very flexible and works with all types of cameras and lenses, not just 8mm fisheyes. If you are interested in capturing a 360 using a standard non-fisheye lens, click here or use the link in the description below for a tutorial on capturing a multi-row panorama.